Okay, gentlemen. Someday it will load properly.
No, we won't.
Atin fucking dies in the background. Okay, hey ho.
Hey, Sneaky, before we get rolling on the podcast, can you run me through making a VM that doesn't suck shit sometime in the near future?
I can certainly give it a shot.
Let's hope your gremlin powers don't interfere in the course of the tutorial.
Yeah, I had to run it on my laptop because it just would not work on my PC. So
What the fuck?
yeah,
Huh.
Oh, good.
yeah. So that's my life. So what have we not done in a while? Pokemon. Pokemon. Feel like we haven't done Pokemon in a while. Fascinating. Fascinating. Good talk. Here we go. Okay, so we got the Citrine Isles with their blimp ran into the storm. I feel like that's a really bad idea. Just run your blimp straight into a storm over the ocean. I feel like that's a really poor plan. Just me. Great talk.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a new Google Doc has dropped about Niji Sanji.
Oh God in
No,
heaven!
no
What did they do
way.
now?
Oh god.
Oh, it's a compilation of several of their scandals, and oh boy, the first one is real spicy.
Oh, what was that?
Well, it involves rape.
Oh.
Yeah, where shall I drop this?
I just,
Memes and shit posts.
Memes and shit. I don't.
Oh,
I
you're
don't know
talking
about
about that
that
massive
one.
like thread and
Hey,
stuff.
yo, why that Gengar gay?
It's a Google Doc that's 43 pages long.
Oh yeah, I
Huh?
saw that. That got shared on SDM. I didn't read it, but some of the stuff I saw is like, bruh.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, like
43
they were
pages.
part of the group that attacked Aloe, the VTuber who quit basically after she debuted.
Oh, of course. Well, why not?
Yeah, there's a lot that's uncomfortable.
You should post. Well, you gonna post it, Mitch?
I'm trying to decide which channel to put it in because we read garbage or
Fucking
here.
put
We're
it in
talking
a
about it.
channel, you bitch!
Fine, we'll drop it here since it's technically relevant to what we're saying on stream. Are you live or not?
Yeah, we're live.
Hey, Twitch, you want to stop having a heart attack? There you go. Sorry, Twitch has decided to just stop working on my end again. Nothing new.
Let's see here. Oh no.
I would suggest not pulling it up on stream if the very first scandal is on screen. You know, good old TOS and all that.
Oh no, it just keeps going.
Yeah, but this first one's like, wow, this is the kind of dude that if he lived in the South and people heard about this, he wouldn't survive past the week wherever he moved.
Yeah, it's a colossal shit show. Like holy crap.
I honestly think that might be
Understating it. Listen,
Yeah.
I knew Nietzsche's and their fans were a shithole of a company and group, more so than the spastic nature of Hollow fans and whatnot. But seeing the stuff of like how they basically had a hand in Aloe's harassment and near suicide. Yeah. That's I was not aware of that.
Hmm.
I just thought the fans were like autistic about the idol shit and harassed her. Not that Niji went after her. The Niji fans did.
Hmm.
Good lord.
Yeah, idol culture. Idol culture is already pretty toxic, and it's just been worsened with the existence of the internet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Niji also just like Niji itself has kind of perpetuated a lot of problems just from being just a poorly run company.
Well, I mean, it's not your. Well, did you hear what the fucking? What else is going on with Digi right now in terms of their fucking jobs?
No, I did not. I only heard of this new drama that Som shared.
So, some people took a look at some of the job postings Niji had, and they were literally trying to hire people out of high school.
Oh yeah, the part-time translator who has to be fluent in 3 languages
Yeah.
Part time.
Yeah.
I'm
for
sorry.
$12 an hour.
Yeah, by the way, you can't be anything older than high school. You actually have to be in high school to do this job. They won't allow for anything
I'm
else.
sorry. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
that's
is like-
illegal.
wanted.
I don't even know about the
well,
legalities. That's just setting
no,
them
No,
to fail.
that's why it's
not.
part-time. It's totally legal.
Huh?
The issue is that I've got to have a discussion with a couple of translators before, just in passing back in my college days.
Uh-huh.
If you're fluent in 2 languages, you can get paid a lot. Translators are always wanted. If you're fluent in 3, you're a holy grail.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
boy.
can have any job you want. You want a diplomatic job, you have it. You want a court document job for translation, you got it. If the job involves translation and you speak 3 languages, it's yours.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
It's
Because
yours, and you don't have.
who are fluent
Oh my
are
god.
so rare. Translators fluent in more than in 3 or more.
Yeah.
Not even 1 in a million. Like way rarer.
Yeah.
And they
Jesus
want to pay
fuck.
someone $12 an hour for being fluent in 3 languages to translate for them because they can't get off their ass and hire competent people who
Also,
don't run their talents off.
Yes.
also, I want to point something out. Your average, okay, a good translation project is hours. We had a.
What do you mean?
someone
Just
who
run it through
stayed
the
with us.
AI and then make up stuff.
We had someone who stayed with us for a while. And they were from Brazil. They were fluent in both Portuguese and English. They actually had a degree in English.
Oh, wow.
So yes, and the gentleman would translate stuff for he paid his way through school by translating stuff, and he probably only translated 2, maybe 3 chapters a week
Right.
of various stuff, and that was probably 20-30 hours.
Right.
Because actually translating something and doing it well, especially if it's a something where tone and word choice is important, that is hours, because you are pulling out a dictionary, you are pulling out a thesaurus, you are cross-referencing definitions, right?
Yeah.
You're going to pull up, okay, the word, right? If you ever have a question, you've got 2 dictionaries and 2 sources out, because you are checking that in English and you are checking it in whatever language it's going into, or vice versa.
Well, not only
Yeah.
that, I mean, it's also a case of needing to transmit, like it's not just like, oh, like chair equals this word in the other language. It's like, well, the other language might have 3 words for chair, because one's chair when you're like, it refers to like a chair with a back to it. One chair refers to chair without a back to it, and one's chair to refer to a pillow you kneel on, right?
Oh, by the way, I'm going from English to, for instance, Spanish or Portuguese, which has gendered language.
Well, so does English, but
Yeah.
that's
No, okay, no, but like
a romance language,
objects
yeah, but
can be gendered.
Yeah, but Romance Language Bridge is so much easier than going from, say, Russian to English, because Russian doesn't have stuff like is and the.
Yes. And to be fair, you're not trying to go from English to German, where German is, I need to construct a new word. I am going to take 17 different existing words and bolt them together. And that is my new word.
Brunton smoking
But no, really, that's how German
Well, to be fair,
works.
so does English.
Oh, wait.
But
We're looking at the Pokemon section.
yeah,
No, okay,
Thank
Sneaky,
God
I know that English bolts new word, like we'll bolt words together, but not in the literal way that German does it, where airplane. I'm gonna take the word for plane, and I'm gonna take the word for air, and I'm just gonna bolt them together with a special joining letter. What do you mean
Yeah.
a special joining letter? Oh yeah, we have the special letter that denotes that we have joined two normal words together. Why do you have that?
because they do that.
A lot.
Listen, it's not our fault. German didn't figure out that you don't need the special letter. Just throw them
Yeah.
together.
You know
Well-
what? If we're looking at the Pokemon
Also,
section,
as-
thank God I just ordered more alcohol.
As
to be
for
Yeah.
ready in half an hour.
obnoxious joining, I would like to introduce you to the fact that Southerners, in their slurring, have managed to join up to 5 conjunctions in one go.
Indeed. But yeah, it's very important when you're doing translation work that you like. Did you know that Latin has 27 words that translate to sword?
As it should.
Because it turns out the Romans were really invested in swords. Shocking, I know.
As they should be.
But yeah, there's 27 different ways to say sword, and 13 different ways to say kill.
Wonderful, wonderful language.
Of course.
Imp-
Of
y-
course.
Not
That's
arguing that
well
it's not a
intended.
wonderful language, but very important that you get those right. And by the way, this is for shit like this is like when you're translating a novel.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. You're already having legal problems. You've already got someone who ditched your company, and you've got accusations of poor translation ruining things, and you're really gonna go for the dollar bin translation?
Well, I mean, it's not
Yes,
just that.
yes, they
The other
would.
problem
Yes.
that Niji Sanji
do.
has is the fact that they're Japanese, and they're classically Japanese, which means to say they hate everything that isn't Japanese, and they don't believe that they need anyone outside of Japan for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Except, then they open up stuff outside of Japan. They're like, oh, foolish gaijin. There's no way any of this will be useful. We'll just open this up and it will crash and burn and we can say, haha, told you so, filthy, stupid gaijin. And then it's the most successful part of their entire company.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh!
I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
I'm not saying it's happened. That's what exactly what happened to Niji. I'm
Yeah,
saying
no,
that's
no,
what
I would
happens
say,
pretty
look,
often to a lot
Yeah.
of Japanese companies.
Yeah, Niji is an exception in the fact that Niji EN is far overshadowed by Hololive, while outside Japan, while in Japan it's a much more even fight, or has been a much more even fight. No
Yeah.
longer the case.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes, I wonder whose fault that is that it's no longer the case.
A little bit of trolling.
Look, I mean, it's not just that. It's also that the EN branch inside of Japan's actually like pretty well loved on the Hololive side at this point.
Exactly.
They've made him enough money.
Gura's
They
got a
collaborate.
fucking cult going.
Yeah, he has a fucking aquarium.
Gora's had a fucking cult since day one.
It's a little grating, by the way, that like, don't worry, Western world, here's an EN branch, and they're still marking the EN branch to the Eastern side primarily, and we can just go fuck ourselves.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I
Still a
mean,
little grating.
now to be fair though, I don't entirely disagree. 90% of the stuff they do in Japan would be entirely water on a duck's back. It will just fucking brush right off if they tried to do that shit in America. Like, oh, drive a bus around with Gura's face on it to promote this new co-op thing they're doing with the local aquarium. You know how many people?
What do you mean it got stolen?
What?
New York wouldn't even bat an eye at that. If anything, they'd want to go to figure out what the fuck this is.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. There's like no one would look at that and go, "Oh my God, Gura is doing a thing with the local museum. We have to go." Like that's what Japan's reaction is apparently, because Jesus Christ, like they literally, the according to what I've been able to gather from the Japanese sources, is the aquarium that Gura did the pairing with apparently went from like about to collapse economically to they have too much money now.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I see.
impressive and
Aquarium,
terrifying.
guys, what the hell?
That's hilarious. But I do want to. There is obviously it's a culture different, but like some people don't realize just how fucking different like advertising is. That people don't understand. Every fucking prefecture and every city has a mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'm referring more though to the fact that we still get stiffed on like merch and stuff.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yes, that's my point. That I will say yes, 100% on that one. Where we just have
Pop-up
this.
maid cafe won't work except at like MomoCon, like the big.
Oh, you know
anime
what?
convention.
I think a pop-up
would be
maid
neat.
cafe would work in Vegas.
Definitely Vegas, yes.
You know
for
what?
sure.
They'd probably go wild. They'd probably go crazy for that shit.
Yeah. I think it
bro,
would
I
fit
would
right in with
literally go
Vegas.
back to Vegas if I knew that was happening.
Weebs drive around in wrapped anime vehicles all the time here in NA. Yeah, but the difference is that's viewed as a weird subsection of society. Even if anime is more mainstream, VTubing isn't. It's becoming more mainstream now.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you looked at the top streamers recently?
I'm aware, but you also have to keep in mind that the top streamers are the top streamers of a portion
For
of
a
the
reason.
population that doesn't have a car and can't drive.
True.
And they don't work yet.
Well, honestly, I would say at this point, the demographics are, well, those demographics are changed for sure.
Yeah.
I would say there's more 20-something-year-olds who watch VTubers than teens, honestly. Just judging from my own experience interacting with multiple VTuber communities over multiple years.
Yeah, but that also doesn't really.
They aged.
Well, yes, but that also doesn't really change my comment in the first place. They still don't have a car, and they still can't drive, and they still don't have a job.
Yeah, you can keep up the basement dweller stereotype all you want. That's fine. I just don't think it's realistic anymore. Or like it's a stereotype for a reason, yes, but that's the same thing as calling all gamers 200-300-pound fucking Cheeto dust covered Mountain Dew drinking basement dwellers, right? Sure, it's funny, but it's not really true, right?
Okay, but see, the thing is that I did eat Cheetos in the basement, and I am 300 pounds.
I know it's a caricature of you, Sneaky. Like, I get it. I get it.
Wah, wah.
But it's like, talking to you and Gray is like the biggest fucking headache because you don't understand the concept of the general population because you're too fucking dumb.
No, I fully do.
Sneaky.
Hold on.
Surely,
I
surely.
fucking hate you
Oh?
so much right now. Because of I have the same issue with you. This is the one time I've ever like felt in sync with Arn, and I hate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. First time for everything, no?
It's like, oh god, Arn understand what it's like to deal with this aspect of Sneaky. Fuck, why is this?
To be fair,
Why is it
with
gotta be
Gray, it's
Arn?
way worse. So you're lucky.
I'm sure it is. I'm just saying, I don't have to have these conversations with Gray because other people have them, and I can just chill and play games with Gray.
That's the funniest fucking part of it all, is that it's just like, yeah, I'm kind of bad, but fucking Jesus Christ when it comes to Gray. There's a reason why I joked for the longest time. Still do, but I don't really do it anymore. Is I was Gray's translator for when it came to fucking writing. Because he would just write shit, and I'd just be like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not posting that.
Did you ever read his like early original
I
fiction?
did,
Like,
yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, I remember when he was writing that shit, bro. That was fucking weird. Like Gray's an amazing friend and all that shit, but he is very much Gray.
Yeah, it's a very gray moment.
Everyone needs a gray in their life, but they gotta
At
understand.
least he's
you have to
listen.
you gotta approach it with a certain mindset.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
could be worse. At least he's not wild, bro.
yeah, no, Gray's
Well,
given me
yeah.
a lot of life experience dealing with Gray.
Yes.
And that's about it, honestly. That's where I'm gonna leave that.
But point being though is that a lot of the stuff that you can work in Japan, the whole idol culture in general, doesn't really translate well to Europe and America. Yes, I'm aware. Oh wow, boy bands exist. Oh wow, celebrities exist. Yeah, do you like realize
different
the people that look at boy bands?
K-pop
It's
demographic.
not men.
Well, no. To be fair, my supervisor at work is a massive K-pop fan. Like he's unironically going to Korea to watch K-pop bands live.
Okay, well, I mean, people are still. I'm not saying.
It doesn't. You're not saying it doesn't happen. You're just saying like, it could be anyone.
There's a certain demographic that tends to be more of that. Yeah.
Well, however, there are still imposters among us.
You know, and so it's also a little bit different in Japan because in Japan they have like 3 fucking rail lines and it connects the entire country. God forbid you try to have a rail line that connects the entire country here.
Yeah. Good luck,
we were working on it.
We were.
Just gave it up because it was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
Well, also in fairness, Japan is smaller, but they do have lines. They do have high-speed lines that cross a significant distance. Not the U.S. Yeah. I'll be the first to admit, but
we have freight lines going east to west, but we do not have high-speed passenger lines going east to west.
Freight pretty much monopolized their entire rail system.
I think we actually have like a train line. Possibly.
Oh no, there are still several train lines that operate east to west coast, but they're not.
They're not high speed.
It's like once every few days.
We have we have 2 or 3 high-speed Amtrak lines that go north to south on the East Coast, but the Amtrak expansion from east to west was actually shut down back in like 2020, due to reasons.
Reasons.
The funny.
Part of those reasons were they did surveys of the rail lines and realized they would have to replace pretty much all of the rail lines because they hadn't been maintained in over 40 years.
Yes.
Minor inconvenience.
I would do it.
And they would otherwise have to just lay new rail lines, which are completely bitch to do now because it's no longer just open prairies, and now they would have to actually navigate those rail lines through places.
Suburbia. Yeah. It's Jover.
Yeah. So it didn't take off. Yeah. Well, I mean, also we kind of ran out of slaves to throw at it to die in the name of making the rail line.
Listen, that was your own fault.
Chinese people.
That was your own
fault.
Yeah,
we're not allowed to do that to Chinese and Irish anymore.
Yeah.
They're apparently people now.
Not them liberals.
Not according to the Chinese, they're not.
Chinese government be like,
real.
No, you're not human enough.
Real.
I checked the scale. Sorry, you're not human.
What's that? You're from our country? No.
But yeah, it's a classic case of Japan just not really understanding that a country about 30 times their size has more people in it.
Weird, huh?
Yeah, it's wild. And so they just kind of think like, oh, there's no way any of these projects will ever succeed, so we're gonna put like the least amount of resources possible into them.
Yeah.
and then they do
Well,
succeed, and they're like, ah.
How?
Well, it was a one-off thing, so we're just going to ignore it, and it's like, God fucking damn it.
And you know what? This is the thing I'll say that made me change my opinion on EN. Yes, like Mori had to like browbeat them into making all these places open for streaming her stuff, but they did, and then she succeeded, and she never had to browbeat them again. They went, oh,
Yeah.
we get
This
it.
is making money.
Yeah.
This is making money.
Sort of.
No.
Apparently, they aren't allowed to play Helldivers because Sony
Still
wants.
Well, yeah, that's Sony being retarded, not Cover.
Well, it is Cover being retarded because Cover wants to
Japanese
get Cover wants to get Japanese permissions for what is supposed to be the American/European branch.
They're still set up.
They're still
in Japan.
Japanese.
Japan is cracked.
That's my point.
Yeah, Japanese copyright laws.
I'm aware. And if they were set up as a separate, actual, genuine branch, they wouldn't need to do it.
Which they aren't, which would probably lead to even more headaches for both the talents and for the company itself.
Oh, we'll never know.
Heavily reduced reliability, just by sheer scale of the operation.
I mean,
so I don't think that's a good idea necessarily. Like, I get what you're saying. I just don't think it's really a solution.
Yes, you're right, but also at the same time, I think they're only hurting themselves in terms of popularity pool.
I mean, yeah, sure, there is definitely downsides, but
because there's a bunch of dead, never to be finished games on their channels.
Because they lost permissions.
Not because they lost interest and they something happened and they don't want to play it anymore. No, they lost permissions and weren't able to get the permissions to play the game again. It's just like, huh?
No,
yeah. So yes, Sneaky is correct. If they were to separately incorporate in the U.S. as right, and you can do it just HoloLive English, like you can do that.
Yeah, you can. However,
but it would. Here's the thing: it will never happen.
There's such thing as called a satellite company.
The Japanese would have to give up far too much control for that, and they will never do it.
Yeah.
No, it's not a real option.
But anyway, that's a lot of fucking shit that is in this document. But anyway, point being is that Niji is hiring bargain bin people to translate for a branch they hate, and because they're Japanese, they don't want to understand English culture. They think it's beneath them, and then they get surprised when the hand gets bitten.
Yep.
Like at this point, you've had a bunch of translation problems. How would you not be willing to, at least for your legal stuff, my god.
Because the filthy gaijin will learn their place eventually.
Yeah. And also just they always include the clause of the Japanese documents taking precedence in any discrepancy. So it's like they can't lose even with a shitty fucking translation. Except in the court of public opinion.
Oh wow, the Niji Korea clique was an actual real thing, and there was a whole fucking cult. Okay, well that's to be expected of Korea.
I'm sorry, the Niji Korea what?
Niji Korea ended up becoming a cult.
Listen, Korea has a lot of cults, including
yeah,
what's the
really
giant
surprising.
church cult?
Yeah, what is up with Korea just producing cults left and right? Says the American.
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why that keeps happening.
It's
funny it keeps happening, but it is weird that it keeps happening.
Yeah,
it's a little worrying it keeps happening.
You know, if I had like a dime for every time Korea created a cult out of something, I would have like $20, which is really worrying, actually. It's not even weird that it keeps happening at this point. Now I'm just worried.
It's a concern.
Everything in the Korean Peninsula is a cult, both north and south. True. 8
Yeah, I mean,
goddesses.
isn't South
Yeah.
isn't South a cult of artist Psy or PSY or whatever?
Well,
All of South Korea.
and so there's a bunch of things. So there was the 8 goddesses cult, which believed in total male death.
So basically, current Western age.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, that lovely group of stable individuals.
Yeah, and then on
Jesus
top
Christ.
of that, there is the several like break-off feminism cults that are also going on in Korea. They actually recently, I know, the gacha game, Genshin Impact, actually recently fired one of their
Blue
employees.
Archive.
Oh
Blue
yeah,
Blue
Archive
Archive is
too.
Korean. Genshin is Chinese.
No. Genshin also had one of their.
No, I'm pretty sure it was only Blue
I
Archive.
thought it was Blue Archive. I haven't heard
Yeah,
shit
it
about
was an
Genshin
Exxon Games.
firing its staff.
No. It was one of the new people that came out recently. For
I didn't
Genshin.
know
Honestly,
Okay.
it's very recent because I have not heard anything.
Yeah, it was
about
very recent. I was listening to Tectone's video on it, and he doesn't cover Blue Archive, so.
that. I don't watch Tectone. You cannot get me to watch that fucker.
No, me either.
Farina?
It's so weird to hear the word tectone.
It wasn't Farina.
Navia?
It was
Blonde?
the blonde. Yeah.
Yeah, Navia.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I remember you passingly mentioning there was some drama with her.
Yeah. She one of the animators for her music intro or something was a person who moved from Korea to China. And she got hired, and then she was including a bunch of her feminist cult symbology secretly in the animation video. And
Great.
her feminism cult believed that unlike the 8 goddesses who believed in just like slowly weaning men out of existence, that all men should just die immediately.
Yes, of course.
Oh, you know what? I'm remembering this now because certain factions will say on Twitter, we're like, they're firing them because they're feminists. Like, no,
Yeah.
now
Yep.
I know they fired them because they believe in just wholesale
genocide.
Genocide.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Those
like,
people being genocidal? No, that could never happen. No.
Yeah, Koreans being genocidal. Damn. Crazy.
Damn.
I was thinking feminists, but sure, that works as well.
Oh, that too, yeah. No, I think the average feminist is just stupid. I don't think they're genocidal.
Average communist, though.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you know, that's a different one, yeah.
That's in the job description.
Yeah, that's job description. A ton of character models in several gacha games got redone because of that. Yeah, and that led to a bunch of other members of that cult getting exposed because they stood behind her and they made like joint statements and shit, and then people started looking into them and they're like, wait a second, you're all fucking genocidal.
Self-report. Classic.
Like, I heard of the Navia one. I did not hear about the rest of this.
Yeah.
Oh boy. This is
you know, it's just crazy, okay? You know, the fucking shit that people can somehow
I've heard of
believe.
some of the drama, like, outside, like, not just Blue Archive, like, I think, if I don't know anyone knows of it, Limbus Company had apparently some drama with, like, one of its artists for one of the main characters being a feminist.
Yep.
And she got fired, and it's like, Korea has such a visceral reaction to anything feminist. It's like,
well, again, to be fair, it wasn't because she was feminist. Again, it was because she was part of the genocide cult.
The feminist.
I just knew she made some comments or something, and they kind of threw her out for it.
Yeah.
Jesus, like as I said, and Max, I fully understand why. just something I would comment on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you know.
Can't be. It's hard for me to be mad at someone who's worried the world is out to get them when the world is in fact out to get them.
Yeah, fucking Max, like, you know me, it's just like, I almost like, everyone says I'm paranoid, but just looking at my fucking life, it's like, no, actually, they are out to get me.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm
Sometimes you're right.
unfortunately correct.
Yeah. It's a rare
Unfortunately.
occurrence, but in this case.
No, I mean, I'm Apollo's fool for the reason. It's not just a rare occurrence, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really, really should be.
It should
wish.
be, but it's not.
I wish you were less correct.
Yes, so do I. That would be great.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway, so let's see here. Let's go talk about fan fiction. Now that we're done talking about real fiction, that is unfortunately real and not fiction.
That's real life, honestly.
Mm.
I mean, honestly, like you could write a really interesting story about Niji Sanji. Like that.
Honestly,
that would
I don't
make, like,
think
a
you
pretty
can.
good story.
Like, I don't think you can write a story about Niji Sanji, just like I don't think you can write a story about Korea, because no matter what you fucking come up with, both of those places are just going to, like, in 3 months from now, pull something new out of their ass, and you're just gonna be like, if I put that in my story 3 months ago, people would have called me unrealistic.
Yeah.
Yes. But you're not now.
It's literally a case of the Babylon Bee just being like, guys, we might have to shut down because we can't keep up with real news.
We keep being right. We
Yeah.
keep bringing shit up, and 2 days ago we find out we were right.
Yep.
Babylon Bee being like a prophecy is always just like, God fucking damn it,
we
not again.
keep making joke particles, and they end up being right a year later, and we're not okay with it.
Didn't they like
We're
make a
all
like a
really
timeline
depressed, actually.
tomorrow's
Yes,
news
they
or
did.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
that's
made a
like-
full-on like site, I think, listing all the things we predicted.
Also,
Yeah.
fucking Flork.
Fucking
Fucking
Lord,
yeah.
that is amazing.
Spin the wheel, Flork! No! No! I don't want to!
Oh, Flork.
To
I
anyone
really
not.
hope this thing starts working, dude. Or
Te-
the agency.
Oh, the fucking Flork agency? Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Flork's
Good
starting
scope
VTuber agency was not on my bingo list.
It was
bingo
not on
sheet
my
for this
bingo
year.
sheet either, no.
But it's very welcome. Very welcome.
My favorite part about Flork is that he has, for the past 5 years, consistently made jokes on New Year's Day about what the rest of the year is going to have in it.
And he's been right
And he's
quite
been
a lot.
right every fucking time. And he's just like, no, please, stop making me say it now.
Yeah.
You know, no one's making him do this.
Didn't people on New Year's go like something like, "Oh, great Flork, please give us warning of this year's disasters on New Year's" or something like that? And he was like,
Yes.
"Please leave me alone."
He wrote a whole fucking comic about it.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
He's like, oh, war in Ukraine. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Fuck.
Oops.
Wait, no, I didn't mean it.
Wait, no.
Misinput. It was a fucking misinput.
It was. It was. Bro got the QTE and hit the wrong choice.
Anyway, so let's talk about cringe ass shit. Gengar Thompson and Stefan, the multiverse ghosts with the most.
Oh god.
You know the saying goes, with great power comes great irresponsibility. I mean, I always thought the full saying. I always thought the great power comes great responsibility saying had like another half sentence attached to it. That was a lot like all the other sayings that we supposedly have that completely change the meaning of that saying.
Of course.
Like, what's the fucking saying for the blood of the womb is thicker than
the water of the covenant. No, blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
Right, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
But everyone says blood is thicker than water, and it's like, well, it's not talking about sticking with your family, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's talking
It is in
about-
fact
yeah.
talking about the exact opposite,
Yeah.
which is
Yes.
that you
Weird.
Listen, okay, you can't choose who you're born with, but you can choose who you spend your time with and who you make promises to.
Oh, and another classic one is, jack of all trades is a master of none.
Master
But
of
if you
none.
actually finish the phrase, it's better than a master of one.
Oftentimes better than Master of One, yes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, MMA is a great example of that. Like, oftentimes an MMA dude will usually beat someone who specializes in art outside of, like, the old dude that's been doing this for longer than he's been alive.
Fucking
You-
Ford.
Yes, because it turns out when fighting
floor.
is based on being able to predict what an opponent will do.
Is that a warning or a perk?
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a
fighting.
promise.
Mean. Hey, look, one of the questions for applying to Flork's VTuber agency is, what's your favorite conspiracy theory you believe
No.
And
in?
it's required. It's
Yeah,
required.
that was a
too.
required question.
It's a required
Mhm.
question.
What is my favorite
Mm.
conspiracy theory? Ooh, I think my personal favorite
That
is
you believe in.
Sorry, I
Walt
don't
Disney
believe
is
in-
in fact cryogenically frozen under.
Sorry, I don't believe in
Disney.
any conspiracy theory because none of them are theories because it's all true.
They're all
I was about to
facts.
say, like, I feel like the
Yeah.
only way to answer this is I don't have a favorite conspiracy theory. They're all facts. What are you talking about?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's probably like instant hire material according to Flork.
Alternately, they go, "Who coached you? Get the fuck out."
Are you a Fed? Are you? Is this a Fed
It was
question?
you after hiring me as a VTuber.
Life has many doors, Fed boy, but this one is close to you.
Flork's just going full unhinged with this, and it's amazing.
Girl House, Mental Health Annex. This
I really like just that. It's like, you know what? I can't do any worse than Niji. I can't.
No, quite literally,
Ring.
one of his posts is, "This will be either the greatest thing I've
Yes.
done in my life, or this will be one of the worst things I've done in my life, but it'll be funny as shit anyway." Yeah.
all
No,
the
I
VTuber, all the VTuber
This will
models
be
look
either
like
successful
Fork.
and be funny, or it'll be fail and be funny.
Yeah.
It's like
All the
he can't lose.
Yeah, he
all
can.
the VTuber models look like
Okay, look,
Flork, except for Flork himself.
He's making content off it. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
He is
It's just
winning.
amazing. Like, I did not expect this. I'm like, fuck, he can actually make it work.
Well, I mean, on a list of unexpected things, you would never expect people like Asmongold to own a VTuber agency.
I mean, to be fair, you would never expect one of Asmongold's VTubers to walk into his house and fucking insult him live on stream and tell him he's a goddamn unhinged lunatic who needs to clean his fucking bedroom.
And yet it happened.
It happened, and
And it was funny.
was glorious.
Yep.
Yeah, that one
Asmon
girl who
is an
thought, yeah, she that one
interesting-
girl thought she could fix Asmon. She couldn't.
No, no one can. No one can.
I learned that apparently Hippo is an Asmon stand apparently.
Yes,
Which
Yep.
is
base.
That makes
that's
sense.
interesting.
Makes sense.
It's like, you know what? I'm glad you know what you like.
Personally,
Please keep it far away over there.
I like that Asmongold is so popular solely for the fact that he is the most pure distilled representation of this demographic possible.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't shower. He lives in his parents' home. Yes, he technically owns it now because one parent's dead and the other one moved out. But he lives in his parents' home. He has trash everywhere. He doesn't know how to cook. Yes, he's technically got tens of millions of dollars to his name now, but still lives
He doesn't touch it.
like a hobo.
He's smart
Yeah.
with his money.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between smart and lazy. He's lazy with his money.
He's lazy with his
both.
money, yeah.
Fair.
He's made
Yeah.
smart investments.
Yes, he's made very
But
smart
he's
investments.
lazy with his money.
Like running a fucking company that is just fucking massive. They got like 80 fucking talents signed to them now.
Yeah.
Yep. Not
there's
all of them
also-
VTubers.
Yeah,
Some
not all
of them
of
are
them
just,
VTubers,
just
yeah.
big
Does he-
YouTubers.
Does he
Yeah.
still run the
Twitch streamers.
PC build company?
I think
Yeah,
so.
he
Yes.
runs a PC
Yeah,
part company.
He's running that, and not only that, he watched video breakdowns of his stuff and took notes. Like, shit, okay, we
Yeah.
need to have tighter quality control then, based on feedback from like Linus and a couple of the other big
penis
IT
PC.
tubers.
Mm.
Like, he took
Penis
notes.
PC. Yeah.
Yeah, he then had to defend what apparently was a hammer, and I just thought it was a weird doodle.
Yeah,
And
I
other
I
people
didn't think
thought
it was a dick
a
either, but
dick.
you know.
Mm.
I didn't see it either, and I'm like, I think that says more about you than it does about the
Yeah.
image, to be honest,
Yeah.
guys.
But I mean, yeah, he's got he got his I don't know, his cult company, which is the One True Kings. He has the Starforge company, which is the PC part stuff. He has Mythic,
Mhm.
which is the talent company.
With some insane pulls
Yeah,
as well.
with some absolutely fucking insane people on that roster, and like
Mhm.
3 gaming professional teams. So, he's doing.
He's doing
Mhm.
very nice.
He's got some he's got some choices, he's got some takes, but he's entertaining almost all the time I've seen a video.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
no, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's which is always interesting because he's kind of left with a fair number of his takes, but then he's also Texan. And so he's just like, yeah, if someone just comes onto my property, I'm just gonna shoot them. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Or he's also
Basically.
he seems to be one of those like unironic bootstrap mentality,
Yes.
which
Which, to be fair, him
Mm.
going from literal white trash, living in a rotted out, broken house whose dishwasher hasn't worked since 1994.
I'm aware. My problem is when he goes there and says, "Just be me, it's easy," and someone points out, "Well, Asmund, you got really lucky." You're right, but just be me, it's easy. It's like I don't have 2 million people in the world that will be entertained by me like they are by you.
No,
Yeah.
no, to be
It
fair, though,
works.
when he does say, just be me, it's easy, what he does mean is put your nose to the grindstone and work 18 hours a day. Because that's
Mm.
what he did for many years before he reached this point.
Mhm.
Now, admittedly, what he was grindstoning was video games,
That he
Yeah,
enjoys.
therein lies the issue.
but he is right, though, in saying if you put 18 hours a day into improving your life's going to improve.
Yeah.
You're not going to maybe guaranteed to become the next fucking millionaire, but
Well,
you're definitely going to have a better
let's-
life.
the hope is you'll have a
Mhm.
better life. There are some people that life does keep shitting on regardless.
Oh,
of how hard they
100%.
work.
I mean, I'm fucking eternally seething right now because Bitcoin shot up again to $61,000, and Jesus
It
Christ.
what?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it spiked. It spiked
Mhm.
super hard again, Max.
The next time it dips, I'm probably going to actually buy some because it's going to 200K.
Mm.
But
So sick.
like
of
I said,
this nutter butter fucking cryptocurrency.
yeah,
It stayed at 20 for so long. Why
Yeah.
did it spike?
because a bunch of countries declared it as legal tender.
Yeah.
And the U.S. also declared that they have like $37 trillion in debt now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, let's quit loaning out money until we get some of that debt paid back. You
No,
jackass.
let's keep
Nah,
loaning out more
nah.
money.
Yeah.
Actually, not even loaning out money, just print money. Fuck it.
Just printers have to go into hyperdrive now.
Don't you know America needs to give money to Ukraine and Israel and
Well,
Palestine.
we
That's
need to fund
Yeah.
these gender diversity programs in
In
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Teach Afghani children about the wonders of gender diversity
Yeah,
and the LGBT.
I'm
Of course.
sure this money will absolutely not get embezzled.
I hate to say it, but that's something only America could like make up.
Oh yeah, I know. I fucking despise it, and I think everyone involved in those bills should be executed. And honestly, I have been of the political opinion that we should just keep executing politicians until our bills stop being 1,000 pages long, and cover everything but the topic they're named for.
I
Free
propose
of
we
liberty.
just start executing them until they make a balanced fucking budget.
Oh, that,
I
that-
propose
yeah,
all of your
yeah.
all your
have you
politicians.
You're asking for a miracle. That
Yeah.
ain't
No,
All
happening.
your all your
We've done it though.
Yeah, we have.
all your politicians should be exactly the same as the new Argentine president.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, here's the
Mil-
problem.
Yes.
Milei managed
There's
to
a
balance the
motherfucker
budget
named
of Argentina in
Clinton
9 weeks.
who actually had a balanced budget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
About the only positive thing you can say about him these days.
yeah,
It is, but it's a hell of a positive.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's hella impressive, especially when you consider the fact that the party that he ran for is
Yes.
largely the reason why it got ran back into the ground.
Yes.
Hell,
But,
the legacy he just handed them, and they just squandered.
Yeah, well, you
Mhm.
know, that's what kind of Democrats do with everything.
But yeah, like, I want to point out, one of the most beloved presidents of all time, despite him being an asshole, all he did was balance the budget. That's like the one defining thing he did.
Well, and have sex in the Oval Office.
No.
Mm.
not
I'm sorry,
much of
the one defining policy decision.
There you
That's fair.
go.
Sure.
That's fair. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's a mess. But yeah. So anyway, do we look like
Trying.
Spider-Man here? No offense to him, but we're badass ghosts that do our own thing that would make the heroes want to throw us in jail. And we like to do that stuff too. Besides being badass, irresponsible ghosts is totally kick-ass, and that is not going to change.
What? Huh? This is a
What?
It's a Pokemon
you
story?
just-
What?
This is a
I'm
Pokemon
guessing
story
they
What
get
is Blood
reincarnated.
Pokemon?
I'm guessing they get reincarnated as ghost Pokemon.
as Gengar.
Oh, why Gengar? Stop being such a basic bitch.
Because one's gay and the other one's black.
Then the gay one's
Bro,
being
you
Mimikyu.
could have been anything. You could have been a dead. You could have been a tree stump made of dead children. You could have been a sword that will possess motherfuckers.
Now,
You
to
could have
be
been a
fair,
Mimikyu.
the lore behind Gengar is kind of a little bit fucked up as well.
Gengar
is.
was kind of hard.
Never
But there's
go to
way
a
more
Pokemon
fucked
that
up ones
isn't.
that go harder.
Yeah. that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they picked Gengar. It's supposed to be like a ghost playing pranks, right? It could just be basing that off of Gengar's first appearance. Well, second appearance, I think, in the
Haunter.
original anime.
Oh. You mean where originally they actually killed Ash and then he came back?
No, they didn't kill him. They just removed his soul temporarily.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, I think I'm thinking of the manga. Or the Japanese
You're
sub.
thinking of the
I-
first
manga's
movie.
not playing fair.
no, it might also be the,
The
Japanese
manga is
sub.
not-
I think in the
Bro, that
Japanese
manga
sub,
is
he
so
technically
unhinged.
actually died.
That manga's what we deserve, damn it.
It is, yeah.
Have
I
you
didn't say we
seen
don't
the
deserve
recent?
it. I said it's unhinged.
Have you seen the recent releases of the Scarlet Violet manga? It is so good. The female MC is a literal fucking sociopath.
Wait,
the
what?
hell?
What?
Ayo.
Yeah, it's
I
going
don't
into the Scarlet and Violet.
I thought it was, but I did not know she was a sociopath.
Yeah, she's got the full evil eyes. She's sadistic. Has no basic compassion to anyone except for like Nimona, and I think the male MC is her brother.
What the fuck? Hello, base.
That-
Yeah,
fuck?
it's great.
Bad move.
Wife material? Hello?
That's an interesting pull.
She's still a child, Ard. She's still a child.
Pre-order. No. I shouldn't say that.
Ah!
I should not say that.
Oh, it's on stream now, buddy. It's on recording.
Okay. Wrong joke with the wrong friend.
Clip it!
Oops.
I'll clip
Ah,
it
Least
later.
insane Norge Groomer.
Oh, that is. I did not expect to hear that on stream.
Clip it.
no.
Clip it.
Oh,
Okay, you know what? I'll clip it now. Fuck it. I'll do it now.
Alright, fine. Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
It's too late.
Let
I
me
don't
it
understand
happened.
the guy. No.
it has occurred.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I believe Nimona is literally just as battle crazy as she is in the game, possibly more. Like
fair.
What's wrong with that?
full yandere stalker in the manga, just for battles.
Based.
Excellent.
And
Do
I
I
didn't
say
even
it's
realize. I
wife
didn't even
material?
realize they apparently made like I didn't catch up.
Oh
phrases.
yeah,
I didn't
here
realize-
we go. Yeah. Gengar wished for traveling companions. As it was once human itself, it tries to create a human life once again by serial killing people.
Oh, good.
Wait, Yeah, but that was in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. All of those Pokedex entries were kind of fucked up.
Well, yes, but I mean, the rest of the Pokemon entries are it hides in your shadow and saps the life from you. This is the non-Sun and Moon entries.
Kind of meh. Kind of boring.
Yeah, no, absolutely, very boring, but still fucked
Not
up.
enough dead children.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry, not everyone can be made of the souls of 108 tortured dead children.
Yeah. Honestly, skill issue.
Yeah.
Pump those numbers up. But they're only made of 107 dead children? Oh, come on, bro. Weak.
Also, fucking Jesus Christ, Sword and Shield. Gengar lays traps, hoping to steal the lives of those it catches. If you stand in front of its mouth, you'll hear your loved ones calling for you.
Well, that's...
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Hey.
Yeah, whoever writes that shit, Game Freak needs to talk to a
They
therapist
need
or something.
therapy.
Bro, what on earth?
They need help.
Yeah, so anyway,
Yeah,
one's
help to write
gay and the other one's black.
There you go.
Oh, God. Oh. You could have written a better title at least, or come on.
Probably.
Probably.
That's funny.
Bro.
Which I got actually. So I have to fucking talk about this real quick. Okay, so I've been reading some fan fiction recently. I just went to
as it always starts.
Haven't we told you not to do that, Sneaky?
Yes.
Fair.
So I was curious what's going on inside of QQ. I was like, is there anything readable here? Shockingly, yeah, I found a couple of things that were okay. I found a major issue with Celestial Forge is that, well, aside from all the other normal issues, it's that a story that even gets that far in Celestial Forge just becomes this absolute fucking like train crash, effectively, like burning train crash. Because it just with magic, it's all kind of just magic, right? Like there's not too much stacking that goes on in Magic. Even if you're able to use like mana circuits from like Fate with like Skyrim magic, it's you're still casting Fireball, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm casting a Fireball at 200% efficiency. Okay, but you're still casting Fireball. With Celestial Forge, however, that's technology, right? And technology, we have a lot of series out there with some fucking wild ass technology, and it's like, oh yeah, I got the Gundam mech technology, except I got the super materials from Destiny and all these other fucking series, and so now I have
Guys, I put hard light on my Gundam.
Right, so now I have a Gundam with infinite power and infinite armor and weapons that can core a planet. And it's like, well, that escalated way more than just I shot a fireball harder.
Yeah, right. I brought a turn A to the fight.
Right. So it's so it becomes.
I made turn A into a Titan.
Unless you like, do what Infanticus did, which is heavily limit what shows up in the Forge, and even then only roll during big plot moments for the Forge instead of every like 1,000 words. Then the series kind of really gets out of hand because you just have so much fucking technology bouncing around that you inevitably like don't even fucking mention half of it because it's not as good as a Type A Gundam that's currently experiencing the spiral power from Gurren Lagann while using super materials from 19 other different sci-fis.
That could be a problem.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
I can't believe you didn't post that clip in
Sneaky,
the post.
we have given the Guardians spiral power as
Indeed.
a joke.
Indeed.
A bit of trolling.
Sorry, what I missed? My alcohol I ordered got delivered finally.
Not much. No, I'm your first viewer. You're not our first viewer, but we do appreciate you being here.
Oh, is this on you? Oh, I forgot you're also streaming to YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
I am
no.
streaming on YouTube, and we
No.
do have
I love that I never keep this stream above 360, so I can't actually interact with YouTube chat. Lucky me.
But as I was saying, it's not great. Okay, I'm gonna be real here. I've seen some of the writing for Celestial Forge stories that was like really good, and it was going all right for a decent portion of the story. And then the author was like trying to do creative, original shit that was more than just, oh, they got more power, oh, they got more power. But the creative, original shit they tried to do was 300,000 words into their story. They were like, what if I now turn the story into a giant mega crossover where the character's not just getting power sets, but actually the Earth they're on now is a cross between Ruby, Stargate, Worm, Arknights, Command and Conquer, was there anything else in that list? And Halo.
Yeah, I wish we could insert the OP into a shower setting.
Yes.
And then go into an outside arc.
Yeah, I was just like, it was. I was like, you had me in the first half, and I was kind of following, and then they had this like whole Giga crossover occur because their forge got broken because chaos infested it, and it spilled out onto the planet and caused the giant Giga crossover to occur. And I was like, it's original, it's kind of cool in theory, but trying to keep track of all of that now. And like, the Force is also now a thing, and Gaia and Alea also showed up, and yeah, it's just like also they're in the Warhammer 40k verse, so yeah.
I assume that's what the chaos was.
Yeah.
Unless you meant chaos from Final Fantasy, which that could have been it too, but unlikely.
Well, Emo McGrunty Face was too busy killing chaos for that to show up.
Yeah.
You know what? Say what you will. What I saw.
I can't wear a tuxedo to my wedding. I've got to be prepared to kill chaos.
Listen, he was a man of sheer focus and will.
I'm chaos. No, you aren't. Get the fuck out of here. Plays Linkin Park. Walks out of room.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid, Mr. Kill Chaos, that you are becoming chaos.
Dude.
No, I'm not.
Everyone who watched that in the first hour, like, oh, this ties back to the original. Oh, this is original Final Fantasy. Got it.
Yeah.
So, honestly, that's essentially the Final Fantasy 1 remake, and it was hilarious. The Final Fantasy 1 remake had a guy saying "fuck you" and playing Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was the best part. Like, I legit thought for a while that was like, stuff that people were putting in over like the cutscene. And
it was part of it.
They are quite literally having him take an iPod out and play like, what I've done.
I think my favorite part of that is that you can now play Linkin Park songs in any Final Fantasy game, and it's canon.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Bro.
Linkin Park's now a canon band in the Final Fantasy universe.
I mean, if there's any band that deserved it, it's Linkin Park.
Hey, listen. It's canon that the Final
play
Fantasy universe has a universe where Biggs and Wedge don't get fucking horribly murdered either, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X, they don't. And 10-2.
That's what I'm saying. It has universes where Biggs and Wedge do not get horribly murdered, which is great because those poor boys get so fucked over in the Star Wars expanded universe. Oh my god.
In Final Fantasy VII Remake, Aerith doesn't die now.
No, because it's not it's not based on the original
We-
story. It's based on
we haven't gotten to that
multiversal
point yet,
bullshit,
so we
timey-wimey bullshit.
she might still die. We just don't know yet.
Listen,
quite literally, the plot
He
is
doesn't-
that fucking Sephiroth goes to an alternative world where she doesn't have to die.
Yeah.
no, well,
I mean, I played the remake. It's
I
straight
can.
up.
There
It's
are
like we
clips
broke
No,
the
saying
chain.
Aerith
We
dies in the
specifically
People,
broke the
people are
Rebirth.
playing. Some people are playing the new one that's coming out soon already, and
No,
giving out
it's
tips and
already
stuff
out.
without
It,
spoilers.
it,
Oh, it's out.
dude, it
It's
dropped
out.
yesterday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
There are
Oh.
clips of the
Yeah,
Aerith
so
death
we're
scene
by the way,
for the new one.
for once, IGN was useful for the first time in like 6 years. Day one, FF7 Rebirth dropped. Hey guys, day one romance guide for Tifa. This is the
Well,
most useful you
Based.
jackasses have been in a long time.
I mean, that's amazing. But yeah, listen, like,
But we're still waiting to see.
I'm
with
sorry.
Rebirth, 'cause
This has been sitting on the fucking screen this whole time, and no one was gonna say anything.
we haven't
the
been looking
YouTube
at
chat.
screens leaking.
No, Whiteout, a collection of one-shots featuring various
Oh, yeah,
Pokemon
that's,
characters getting raped.
Okay, the name is blocked on the screen.
Yeah,
so
the
we can
Yeah.
name's blocked. I can't see that. I just see Lady Redheart with the E at the start. I can't
I
see.
mean,
the
Yeah.
sound
you're
effect.
not wrong, but still, like, it's been there this whole time.
Yeah,
And
I didn't want to look at it, so I wasn't going to.
Mother the Mighty Anna. Oh no.
I did say something. Okay, did you? Where?
Yeah, it's
Let's scroll
the
up.
fourth
No,
takedown.
hang
don't
on,
see
the
anything.
Dragon
No,
King.
He did.
Pokemon change
Where,
their trainers
where?
as much as their trainers
the
change
fourth
them.
takedown.
So when Marcus, a military
in the
veteran,
first
finds
level.
himself in the world of Pokemon, the overload of dragon type energy from his team of choice causes him to become somewhat imperial. And in a world where gods can be enslaved in balls available at your local Pokestore, that's something of a problem.
Oh, yeah, so you did say it, yeah. Pokemon change their trainers as much as trainers change them. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, I'm following. Military vet, okay,
And then
yeah.
they get it completely wrong.
Dragon type energy. Okay. Gods can be enslaved in Pokeballs. I mean,
That's
So
just
here's
'cause
my
of
thing.
names.
I don't know
So-
if they. I don't know if they. Here's the thing: capitalizing Imperial. That doesn't tell me anything. Is he about to become? Is he about to become an Imperial from Skyrim? Is he about to become part of the Imperium of Man?
no, he's about to start speaking German.
Are they basing this
Oh,
off of
hide.
the Nobunaga-esque Pokemon game that released way back?
Pokemon Conquest. That was great.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically,
I love how that did no numbers, but I never heard a single bad thing about its story or gameplay.
yeah,
Let's find
That's
out.
'cause it was on the DS.
Let's see where this piece of shit goes. Come on,
Well,
that's what
That's
this
'cause it
show's
was
about.
basically,
because it was Fire Emblem on the DS. That's it.
the thing is that they did in fact canonize why you're able to catch these gods. It's because the gods are breaking off a part of them to be caught. Like, they literally
Yeah.
they literally said at one
They're
point.
not in their full.
That
They're not in their full
Arceus.
power.
Yeah,
That was
literally.
Arceus at the end.
It
so-
literally every time you've ever caught Arceus in a video game for Nintendo,
He's
that's
letting you.
actually A, he's letting you. B, it's not even Arceus, it's a little fucking shard of his power that he's allowing you to keep for a
Mhm.
while.
Essentially,
He's an elder
essentially it's the plate. You know how you equip plates to that shard of Arceus? He's the plate equivalent of the real Arceus.
Yeah.
Uh,
Which also
it's love-
leads to that.
I love that. It's just fair play.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
Which
job, kid.
also leads
Here's
to
your
that
reward.
eternally funny fucking animation of that 5-year-old being like, Arceus, send this fucking shitter into the hell realm of burning feces. Okay. Judgment beam.
Arceus is just the old man in the cave. It's dangerous out there. Take this as he just hands over a miniature version.
He hands over a nuclear bomb to a small child.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take a tiny fragment of God with you. What?
Yes.
hmm
Honestly, I think that'd be kind of a cool cool game. Not Pokemon, but cool game concept of like sort of like a Olympic flame sort of style of like, oh yeah, the god is you know, the god's power has to be restored to the region, so you have to like empower this shard of god that you were, you know, entrusted with, and you have to go around beat up people, and like you leveling up is actually the shard of the god gaining strength and granting you power. And then, you know,
and then you can get the second ending where you go, actually no, fuck God, I'm killing you. Let's go 1-on-1 right now.
1v1
You know, there was
God.
actually I think the book was called Lore. It was actually pretty interesting. It was for some I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. It was essentially the Greek gods were losing power. And so Zeus sent them all down to Earth.
Right.
The original reason, it was partially because they were losing power and this would let them keep them there, but he was also punishing them because he was sick and tired of them bickering.
Right.
And so basically he locked the power of the gods into mortal forms, and different mortals would obtain it, and the gods were trying to take over the mortal forms and get their power back. But every mortal they killed, it got like more fragmented or something. Basically the trick was the gods had to learn how to stop being dickheads to get their power back. But yeah, it was kind of the whole like the whatever mortal had the power of whatever god, you could get that power by killing that mortal.
Right.
So it oh, this dude is Ares, I can become Ares if I just fucking kill Ares.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right. You know, I mean, it's an idea.
I read it quite some time ago. It's obviously it's better than my half-assed remembrance. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a decent series. I just don't. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of system going on there that I don't know how much I would enjoy it.
Well, that whole thing, like, that's information that you find out through the entire course of the book. Like,
right.
I just assumed no one here was going to read it. So
no, we're not. I'm reminded of that one series where Greek gods got their power from human sacrifice. You realize how little that narrows it down?
Yeah.
Burrow.
Heart of the Pokemon, mother of Mightyena. Mercy did not belong in the wild. Neither did humans in their strange ways. No, again, this is going with the whole fucking noble savage shit, and I fucking hate that stuff. You put fucking you put a group of humans in the wild, and let me tell you, mercy is not going to be on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that has a lot to do with the environment, the available resource. It really does depend. If they're anything above actual, like, knuckle dragging simians, it's much more dependent on available resources and what that person's done for them. It really is.
Yeah, no, and what I'm saying though is also just like, I mean, the Man vs. Wild series is a great example of this. When they did the whole group thing, it's like, oh, this group of men are have to survive on this island, and we're gonna give them no help for a month, and so they have to go fucking kill their own food and all that shit, right? And it's just like, oh yeah, here's the guys. What are they doing? Oh, they just got a bunch of sharpened sticks and they just tackled the gator and they just stabbed it. And now they're having giant roast gator for the next 6 meals. It's like, oh, okay.
Meanwhile, with the women.
Yeah. Well, we don't really. It's not really the point here, but
Yeah.
the point is they encountered boar and were like, oh, food, oh, gator, kill. kill,
Food.
kill. You know, like, so it's like, okay, yeah, mercy isn't really on the fucking menu.
Bro, they saw a woolly mammoth and said, "That's like 17 dinners."
Yeah, so it's yeah. If you're talking about mercy towards another person, yeah, I'm gonna say 100% that everyone involved in that would be a lot more hesitant to kill
But-
another person. But let me tell you right now, if you haven't had water in 3 days, and the person you just encountered in the middle of the wild has had water, and you go, "Can you give me some of your water?" and they say no,
No.
a lot of guys would follow that up with grab rock, grug take water.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, barring circumstances of like the guy being like absolutely fucking ripped and you don't have any muscle at all and you're kind of scared and so you scamper off and run away and probably die, but you know.
Mm.
I mean, even then, if I've got a rock and he doesn't,
Yeah.
and you're
Right.
you're dying of thirst, you'll take those odds.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, right. It's like, yeah, if you
Yeah,
haven't
you'll
had
die
water
anyway,
for
why
3
not?
days, you're just like, fuck it.
Rock to the face is a pretty
Fuck
great
it, we ball.
equalizer.
Yeah, but so yeah, mercy comes more from civilization and the social contract and a whole bunch of other things that we've invented.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Mm.
I forget what it was, but there's a philosopher who said, if you want to know about a civilization, look at how they treat their sick and injured.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but like, yes, right? How do they? Oh, this person broke their fucking leg and they can't work for 6 months.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Yeah, and so you know, I really hate this stuff when they're like, oh, humans in their strange ways. It's like, no. There's a reason why I completely seriously say that humans aren't apex predators. We're supreme max murderers. We
Yeah.
killed the shit out of everything, regardless of where we should have been on the food chain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is nothing apex about us. We lost when it pretty much every possible way you could lose when it came to gaining like
physical stats.
predator abilities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our eyesight shit, our hearing shit, our taste and smell is shit.
But we figured out
still
that,
came out on top.
Yeah.
well, we're getting that because we figured out, hey, wait a minute. They have to nap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's also we became a very social species, and even monkeys have this sort of going for them. Is that yeah? It turns out that if you collectivize labor, even if that labor's chasing something down,
Bro, you want to talk about brutality?
Yeah.
Monkeys are way worse than us. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Gombe chimpanzee war, dude, they had straight up fucking war crimes in that shit. That's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, I know, but I mean, also at the same time, though, you can look at some of the atrocities of humans, and it's
Yeah.
almost on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing
China.
is that, well, yeah, but I mean, the thing is that, like, as far as we can tell, monkey tribes don't see other monkey tribes as monkeys.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, a gorilla will just fucking beat the shit out of you and you'll die, but a monkey will fucking
Yeah.
like rip your skin off.
I mean, like, yeah, chimpanzees especially are like
Yeah.
insanely brutal for some
Mhm.
ungodly reason.
It's just the monkey brain evolution. What can I say? I mean, fucking again, humans. The shit that humans can get up to if they don't view the person on the other side as a human.
Yep.
Literally, every aspect of modern military training is training you to dehumanize your opponent.
Well,
Because
no, it's to dehumanize, but not it's to de-empathize, not dehumanize, because
de-empathizing is dehumanization is part of de-empathization. Like,
yes, but it's not to the same extent as what the Asians get up to.
Okay, yes, you are correct, but I forget. It's what? It's like only 10% of people that enter military training are capable of pulling the trigger without going through like boot camp and shit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like the entire reason that we have things like boot camp is because we have to train a hesitance to kill out of right, even random people.
Well, yeah, because it comes down to the fact that humans, unlike chimpanzees and unlike a lot of wolf packs and stuff like that, is that we didn't look to every single other human as competition. We would just be like, "Hey, you other tribe, we both hate that tribe, so we friends now, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, totally, we're friends now." And that sort of behavior was rewarded with those two tribes that just said we can put aside our differences and instantly work together to go kill someone else. That behavior got passed down, and the tribe that couldn't do that died off.
Yes.
Wasn't there like 17 of them that died off or something?
There was about like 10 or so other factions of humanity that ended up getting either exterminated or outbred.
Yeah, but but again, it's always been interesting to me the way that, like, how that worked, right? Oh, what do we as a species not do? It's really hard for us to kill someone. Like, it's actually really, really hard. And
which is why it's always so funny to read those killing is easy thing and
yeah.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Well, then, sir, you might be a psychopath.
Well, A, yes, but B, a huge factor of that is where, how, and when you kill someone, because they didn't have boot camp the way that we have, right? The medieval ages didn't have boot camp in the way that we have boot camp now. Of course, part of that is an organizational structure thing, but it's the psychology of shooting and killing someone with a gun or a bow is vastly different from the psychology of stabbing someone with a sword who is there, and that, again, they don't even have to actively be attempting to stab you with a sword, but if you're put on a field and you see guys across the way who are on the field and the guy behind you is saying, "Look at them, they're going to kill all of us, we got to get them first," and they're still coming at you and they're not going away, yes, that is much easier for you to override.
Well, I mean, it's also, you also had the fact that a large portion of the armies back then were levies, or they were citizen soldiers.
More mercenaries.
Well, yes, but the mercenaries came from one of those two previous groups.
Yeah.
Not the levies. No, mercenaries professional. Usually.
No, I mean, a lot of
traveling
mercenaries would start as
levies.
Start in the levies, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then after their first battle, they would
that's what
become
I'm saying.
mercenaries.
Well, it's not even just after their first battle. It was effectively, the levy would form. The first battle would happen, the second battle would happen, and then, the lords, peace out. And then either the lord doesn't pay the people, or the people in that that mercenary band that eventually ends up forming were like, hey, actually, killing people is way more fun / easy / profitable than being a farmer. So let's all just do that instead. And everyone's like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I like money.
Yeah, or even it's a case of, well, shit, they just left us here.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
to a
which
certain
happens.
extent, yeah, but some of the most famous mercenary bands in history were more like elite warriors contracted.
Oh, absolutely, but the vast majority of mercenary regiments started as a group of just levy, right? That's what most of them were. Absolutely, there were.
Depends.
elite regiments, but elite regiments are the exception for mercenaries.
Yeah.
The elite
Depends on
regiments.
time period and location and all that.
Yes,
but
well, the elite regiments had to come from somewhere.
yeah, they
But
would
anyway,
usually be
it's getting into the
soldiers.
weeds. The point
Yes.
is,
Yes.
Whatever.
psychologically, these
Murder is pretty
right.
cool.
It's very different when you're in a line and someone is right there trying to stab you versus
Yes.
I am across the field with a gun. Even if intellectually you know the other guy has a gun and might be a threat to you, your brain on a functional level cannot conceive of him as a threat.
Yes, but no, but yes.
I know. Yes, but no, but yes. But I'm saying on the right, one of the things you brought up is the social contract.
Yeah.
The social contract is not just an invisible, ethereal thing. It is part of most, not all, but most humans'
Yes.
thought processes on
Yeah.
a subconscious level.
Yes.
Mm.
But either way, this shit is cringe.
True.
But the winds of change are coming, and old foes and new blood to the land that will test my wolf pack and everything it stood for. I made no promise of what was to come because there were no words to fill a bite Pokemon's mouth, only teeth, and they were my mightiest weapons. Okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on here, I'm gonna be honest with
It's
you.
someone as a dog.
Yeah, I
Someone
think it
has a
might
dog.
just be, yeah.
About.
Yeah, I think it might be a self-insert OC who's a
As
mighty
a Mariana or Putiana
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. Again, yeah. I mean, it's just it's this weird, distorted lens that I see a lot of people like view shit through, and it's kind of just like, how the fuck did you manage that? Especially for someone who wants to talk about that sort of thing, about like, oh yeah, in the nature it's more savage. It's like, motherfucker, have you seen what happens to? There's a lot of things. I could say a lot of things after that.
Yeah.
We recommend that you do not.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Dragon King. So I sort of like the idea of type energy influencing the trainer. It's sort of like a cool idea. Because they did canonize effectively that Pokemon get stronger faster when operating underneath a trainer than they would in the wild.
Well,
on
yes,
average.
because a wild Pokemon will be like, Tail Whip, yes, this will grant me power. No, you're gonna learn Hydro Cannon.
I mean, and some of it is just shared thought process of humans weaponizing things and going like, yeah, I know you can shoot water out of your mouth and it's pretty good, but have you tried shooting it with like more pressure? And that probably wouldn't really come up generally to a water Pokemon until they were properly motivated to in the wild by like, losing their fucking family or something, and so they want to blast water really hard, and then they find out that if you blast that really hard, it does more damage, which, it's a lot of basically the positioning is that humans are an out of context solution to Pokemon growth in the wild. Where the out-of-context solution is bringing in new ideas that the Pokemon would have never really stumbled upon unless by chance.
Yeah.
I Yankee in Wonderland. Okay, so yeah, it's a fucking... Yeah, so it's some fucking person from our land going into... Pokemon, and they get infused with a bunch of dragon type energy, and they decide to go full on German on everyone.
Fucking tyrant.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Why does that sound familiar?
I like the idea. I just don't like
Was he in the Naruto section?
well, he's got
no,
6
but
stories.
He was 2018.
Yeah.
He was in 2018.
Reign of Sins, a My Hero Academia story. What exactly is a quirk? Such simple questions should have simple answers. But unfortunately for Izuku, I mean, what is a quirk is a very not simple question, though.
Yes, especially
unfortunately
because
for
it's no longer really about genetics, thanks to
yeah, it's apparently about souls now, which is like, huh?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about souls now. Apparently, all the quirks have people's souls. That's what the quirk factor is. It's actual people's souls or something like that.
Yeah.
That
And
sounds
stronger souls
stupid.
give a quirk.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Izuku, he forgot the basic lesson of look before you leap and was woefully unprepared for the rabbit hole. Now, with the butterfly effect in full swing, everyone will learn how much one question can change everything. I'm not a villain, I'm just a geneticist, Izuku says.
Izuku, Bakugo,
I think
Momo,
that's the
Darun.
same excuse that Germans used at the end of World War II.
Why did I come back to World War II?
always goes back to-
Izuku said he was just following orders.
Bad Izuku.
Oh, what?
Oh, Daruma is that fucking scientist that both called Izuku quirkless and is part of All for One's fucking cloning quirks thing.
Gamer, go touch grass and read a history book. Yeah.
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 Anyway.
Gilded Green. Have you ever found it hard to get good job? Have you ever felt your true talent was wasted? Have you ever felt oppressed because you were 5% of population?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm resisting.
Don't say it.
I'm resisting.
This.
Listen, as soon as I heard percent of a population, I was like, don't. I know what you're thinking, motherfucker.
No, I was thinking that, but
What?
I
Sorry,
also
forced
was
instinct.
later in the summoning.
Well, then I would like to
We do
say,
it fully.
hello and welcome to the Promising Entrepreneurial Company.
Riddle me this.
Midoriya Industries, where employee benefits are so good you'll never leave. Welcome
that
to
big
the
part,
circus of values.
If you're not
Come back when
retarded,
you get some money, sucker.
yeah, the summary's
No,
called
buddy.
"Help Me." Help me, so
Yeah, I know. It says help me. I know.
yeah. Bowling with the boys.
Bowling with the boys are friends in town for a funeral. Well, that's fair
Rip.
enough.
Hopefully, you're not bowling with corpses as the pins.
No, no.
Hey, wait, yeah, sign. Are you weekend at Burning this?
Hey,
He's not in the chat. You've got to actually type that.
I will have you know that tibias make for great bowling pins, and skulls make for great bowling balls.
Not only if it's smooth and undented.
That's the fun part. To war by Jingo, to arms in Dixie, rise of the Southern Bow Hero.
What?
Apparently, a Dixie.
Whew, okay,
racist
listen.
bow hero.
I thought we were about to get a little too on the nose.
Now I'm gonna think of that when I bowl tomorrow. Sneaky, no! What? Sorry, voice of habit.
I mean, listen, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, I know.
That's the point.
Slavery, racism, genocide. The kingdom of Melomark is built on a foundation of rotten ideals and horrible atrocities. So, of course, when they summon a hero, they get what they deserve. Manipulative, scheming, megalomaniac, obsessed with his own ideals. He may be the weakest of 4 heroes, but he'll stop nothing for his pursuit of power. Who's ready for a civil war? Why does it say OC and not John Brown?
Yeah, hey, wait a minute.
Listen.
Oh, I gotta find that. Oh, I gotta go back and read that fucking John Brown fucking thing.
Listen, I think this guy's a bit
Did you like that in
misinterpreting.
in Fanfiction or Fic 9K? I gotta find that.
I think it was fan fiction.
Listen, I think this person's a bit misinformed because any
Nope.
Southern Civic War furry hero would hold up a color palette and go, "Yep,
I-
you're white enough. I'm on your
I
side."
mean, they literally just started with cotton as far as the eye can see. The good old American
Oh.
South.
Woo!
Oh,
Just the manipulate. It's like, I'm about to manipulate you. Just hold up a color palette. That's all right. You're white enough.
Oh God.
Rich, please don't ban us.
Yeah. Amira
listen,
Hunter.
listen, Twitch. I'm telling. This one ain't even sneaky.
Yep, it's the Australian.
Of course.
I can't believe I'm about to get. I can't believe I'm about to use Google John Brown fan fiction. We will be doing this in incognito mode,
We know it exists. There's an isekai that is well received.
or the
Yes.
John Brown isekai.
Wasn't that
It's
one on
been
Royal
linked in
Road?
this server, I think, twice at
Yeah,
this
it
point.
has.
Wasn't that one on Royal Road?
Yeah, but I can't find it.
Maybe?
It was on Archive of Our Own, right?
Oh.
No, it's
No,
on Royal Road.
no.
Yeah, Royal Road.
Oh, that's where. Oh, yes. His soul is marching on. Oh my.
What the fuck are you sending me in the middle of the stream?
Don't worry about it.
What the
Wait, what? It's also on QQ, apparently.
That's a interesting location.
Of course,
Are
it's
you
on.
sure? Are you sure you're not misinterpreting it with Rebel Yell?
Yeah, he's
been
probably
getting
thinking about
popular?
Rebel Yell, yeah.
No, it's actually on QQ.
Oh wow, that's actually surprising to me.
But anyway, we're not here for the John Brown fan fiction.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
some of us
cash
are, but-
crop, so influential that it cemented the shift of the world's economic center from China and the Silk Road, where it had been since the time before the Romans, to the New World, to the Atlantic trade routes. But, well, this cotton wasn't for selling. In fact, no one was even farming this cotton. No one had in decades. Instead, this cotton was wild cotton. The farm long since neglected, and no native animals able to eat them. The crops had run rampant, growing out of control until it was nothing but a sea of white. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, you know, there's machines these days that harvest that. You don't need people.
Mm.
The only evidence of human existence was the neatly cut road through the fields and the old wooden house it led to. The house was old, that much was obvious, made without any modern electrical equipment and only rusted metal lanterns and the occasional chandelier to light the insides. But despite its age and the thin sheet of dust that coated every surface, the house was still managed to give off an impressive feel. Large rooms full of rich rugs and cushy furniture, long hallways lined in oil paintings of people long past, closets full of elegant dresses and expensive coats, and a cellar stocked with finely aged alcohol. Okay, yeah, so anyway, yeah, so darker story, rusty chains, cattle brand, leather whip with blood. What am I doing here? He technically owned it because it was part of the family, but they never really came here because of, you know. He was a dirty, poor German immigrant. Okay.
Oh my god.
Wow, just
Woo.
into it, huh?
Yeah, right into it.
Woo!
Blah blah blah.
Ooh.
Wilhelm, cheap land, blah blah. 2075. It was hard to make a fortune. Yeah. Blah blah blah. World War III happened. Blah blah blah. Okay. How could these terrible people look so happy in their pictures? This is travesty.
Because it actually takes very little for people to be happy.
Yes.
Also, people have this amazing ability to disassociate and generally be assholes.
Yes. Shocking.
There's this whole thing called the bystander effect. You really should read about it.
So anyway, there was a musket on display, and so the guy goes to look at the musket, with a Confederate flag carved on it.
Oh.
Please don't tell me he ends up with the musket as his bow instead of the standard hero bow.
How did you know?
Because you were so fucking obvious.
And so anyway, he goes to approach the musket, and as he gets near the musket, the door behind him opens up to reveal the whip menacingly hanging there on the wall. Then he gets pissed, and he grabs the musket and lines up a shot against the whip and pulls the trigger, and then everything goes white. Which, if you're familiar with Shield Hero, it means he died. Which means the gun blew back on him. Which, I mean, hey, you know what? If I had a musket, I too would overpack it with gunpowder and then hang it on the wall, just in case someone ever decided to come by and be like, I'm gonna steal this and fire it.
Yep.
I mean, also, I do want to point out, this particular individual was like, hey, you know what I'm gonna do here?
Grab this
I'm gonna
antique
try
gun.
to snipe a whip out of someone's hand.
No,
That's
it
not
was
how
just
a
on the
musket
wall.
works.
No, it was just on the wall.
No, it was just hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, even still, that's kind of not how the musket works.
No.
You'll probably
Well,
miss.
no, the Kentucky
What are you
long
saying that that's
rifle.
not how it works?
Okay.
Musket was accurate up to like what was it,
800
10
yards.
800 yards. No.
Yeah.
No, not that.
Yeah, the good old
No.
Southern boys with the Kentucky long rifle,
Sneaky, that is a specific musket.
which was
musket in
employed
general
by the
was up to
South. By the end of the Civil War, the Kentucky long rifle was one of the most produced muskets. In fact, we started exporting them because everyone else in the world was like, holy shit, you geniuses. Sell us.
I was going to say,
I'm gonna
most of
ask-
them were accurate up to 100 yards.
Yeah.
Volley fire was at 25 to 50 yards, which is just terrifying.
Yeah. A lot of Civil War battles were fought at like football field length oftentimes. Once you got to, shooting stuff.
I have no fucking idea where you're getting this.
300
Smoothbore
to
muskets had
400.
a general accuracy of 300 yards, while rifled muskets had an accuracy of 500 yards. The Kentucky rifle is noted for kills at 800 yards. Muskets used during the Civil War were accurate at around 300 to 400 yards on average in the right hands, but hitting a target more than 200 to 250 yards away required a high amount of skill not found in the average soldier.
Genuine question, where's that coming?
Battlefields.com and American Civil War forums.
Okay, because the place I'm looking at is called battlefields.org.
So yeah, battlefields.org. Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Battlefields.org. Oh wait, hang on a second.
Which is saying that most muskets were lethal up to 170.
No. You click on the link. The link leads to. That's discussing muskets in the Revolution.
And then further down, let's see. Hang on. There we go.
Yeah.
The model 1861, which I'm not sure what that is. I guess it was a Springfield.
Yeah.
That was 500. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those fuckers were accurate for what they were.
Oh my god, they literally gave a sight on every model 1861.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's
And less than-
also great
Less than
tale
a quarter of them were probably used at
that we even learned about in the North, where we had a
For the
northern
Confederacy,
general.
chronic arms shortages led to purchasing weapons overseas. The English-made pattern 1853 Enfield rifled musket was the second most used firearm of the
Yep.
war and coveted by Confederate infantrymen. It was almost identical to the 1861 Springfield, but the imported ones were often not of the highest production quality, resulting in difficulty repairing and replacing those.
Yeah,
those
I went
parts.
to the gun museum over in Bill, Wyoming, and from the gun museum's excerpt, apparently the Kentucky rifle was created out of the South's sheer hatred of how annoying it was to maintain the British weapons.
I see.
I mean, I can believe that. I can definitely believe that.
That being said, I don't think the Kentucky long rifle ever saw quite as much services as some people are trying to say.
That's fair.
Because it seems like
It was near the end of the war.
Now, I'll grant you, I totally believe that the Southerners made that because, oh my god, I fucking hate this British piece of shit. Well, no, actually, it's not a British piece of shit. It's I hate trying to maintain this British piece of shit. It works great. But yeah.
But yeah.
Wait a minute, hang on. The Spencer rifle was the pinnacle of military technology during the Civil War, the world's first repeating rifle utilizing lever action and a magazine holding 7 brass rimfire cartridges. A Spencer rifle was capable of firing up to 20 rounds per minute, 7 times faster than the standard infantry rifled muskets.
Mm-hmm.
The use of the magazine, which was a tube inserted into the butt of the rifle, was revolutionary.
Yep.
The Ordnance Department resisted any use of repeating rifles, fearing the average infantryman would waste ammunition by firing rapidly. They're not wrong, resulting in a lack of supply. The cost of new breech loaders was a major factor. Because of this, it saw limited action.
Yes.
Some Union cavalry carried a smaller carbine version of this.
Yep. And Teddy Roosevelt ended up being part of one of those Rough Rider groups way later down the line.
Yes. And then you go 50 years forward into World War I, and we have mankind has taken battlefields to be literal hell on earth.
Yes.
Yes.
But anyway, point being is that Lamau. And like I said, there was that one legendary tale of a northern general who was strutting around on the battlefield, and his officers were like, sir, you really should take cover. And he said, what's that? Those fucking southern pricks can't hit shit. And then his head exploded because 800 yards away, a sniper with a Kentucky long rifle decided, fuck you.
Fuck him.
I mean, he's just out there in the open. Am I not supposed to take the shot?
Yes. And then Sherman.
I will say this, that I can see why he'd be confident about that, because that does... Those battles were still fairly well structured.
Well, I mean, that's not only that. He was also double the average range of a rifle.
Yeah.
Well, because it's like, they're not going to shoot at me. We're not actually fighting the battle right now. And, like you said, twice the range. Not going to get anything. It wouldn't surprise me if they were trying to shoot his hat and not his head, though.
I also would not be surprised by that
Yeah.
information if that was true.
It's like, technically you hit the hat.
But, yeah. Anyway, so, he wakes up and, stupid. That gun had been hanging on the wall. Why the fuck would you fire an old gunpowder gun sitting on the wall since the Victorian era? Of course it would blow up. Wait, it was
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't fire.
No, this part. It was a display gun. Wait, why was it even loaded in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's fair, but it shouldn't have shot at all.
Obviously, the caretaker was reloading it, but I don't think gunpowder has an expiration date as long as it doesn't get wet. If it dries out, it's usable again.
If it dries out, it's usable again. So I mean,
At best, the flash, whatever the wick is, might have disintegrated.
Yeah.
That would have been the best way for it to not fire.
unless it was a matchlock.
Okay, so
Mm.
it depends on your kind of gunpowder.
Mm.
Traditional black powder will in fact degrade when exposed to air and water over time because it will basically undergo a chemical reaction that makes it worthless.
That makes sense. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I would say maybe if you had a loaded gun and you kept it that way, I would say maybe like a couple of years, because the ball is technically supposed to be blocking air and water from getting into the tube.
Yeah,
reach
but
the
it's
gunpowder?
not going to be a perfect airtight seal.
Right,
So.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it would probably delay it more than just the gunpowder being normally exposed. But I mean, we're talking about it is currently 2070. That it's literally like 400 years ago this gun was used. I'm obviously
The owner
exaggerating.
of that gun just believes in full authenticity, so he reloads it every week.
His spirit actually comes to the house every week just to reload the gun.
Yep.
No, he can't
It's
reload the gun,
tradition.
but he can stop the gunpowder from having a chemical reaction.
This is haunted gunpowder.
Oh,
Someone is gonna loot this gun, and I'm gonna laugh at their corpse.
Listen, dude, haunted gunpowder sounds like something out of West of Loathing.
It does.
This is haunted gunpowder. Let you shoot ghosts. You fucking what?
I mean, makes sense.
yeah, well, that's until you actually fire it and learn. You don't actually get to shoot at ghosts. You shoot ghosts.
Yes, at ghosts.
You shoot ghosts at ghosts. You just started brawl.
Yes.
Haunted gunpowder. This special gunpowder allows your gun to fire ghosts. Gets into combat, fires a ghost. I don't know what I expected from this fucking game.
The ghost becomes part of your party temporarily until the round ends.
Listen, that is exactly what would happen in that stupid fucking game, and I love them.
Yeah, it would. Anyway, so he hears words. He's blinking. Blah blah blah. Tall blonde. Blah 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 blah. Aren't you aren't you all just a happy little bunch? William growled. Leaving a fella on the ground is fun and all. You gonna start telling what to do without so much a little explanation? He pushed himself up. Best to start over, and we wouldn't have any misunderstandings now, would we? The king has requested you get there. Guy, girl, sword wielder. We should hurry. Blue hair was listen, William. Blah blah blah. Now Fumi.
I mean, look. All I'll tell you this, author, is you're gonna have to try real hard to give me someone that I like less than Naofumi, but you are succeeding.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go, guys. See ya.
My name
Later.
is William Dixie. Man, that is the most.
Max, surely naming your child that in the South is considered cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah.
Oh, one, yeah. Second, you said the time is supposed to be 2070?
Yeah.
Wow. So this author fully believes that we're still going to give a shit about something like that 50 years from now and not what's currently happening.
Yes.
Interesting. Very interesting. Very telling.
Less likable than Naofumi? Easy. Subaru. Fair.
Oof. Not wrong, but oof.
Mm-hmm.
The southerner scolded himself as he waved Naofumi off. For losing his cool and for slipping into a southern drawl. He usually was able to suppress it, but it tended to slip as he got exhausted or pissed off. I mean, really, he wakes up in fuck knows middle of nowhere after getting his head blown off, and no one even bothered to check if the guy passed out on the floor was even alive, much less if he was okay. Shaking his head, he caught a look in the reflection.
I stabbed Naofumi. The end.
Yes. Quarter, blah, blah, blah. Quarter of an inch over 6 feet tall. Sounds like someone who's concerned about their height and isn't 6 feet tall. William was reasonably tall, blah, blah, blah. Hair, hat, blah, blah, blah. Explosion. He had a bow. Did someone put it on him? Yeah, okay, so anyway. Oh, he grabs his old musket and he tries to pick it up, and the bow zaps him. He glared at the gun. The gun didn't glare back. He tries to pick it up again. It doesn't work. And then he's like, oh, I didn't know wood could conduct electricity like that. Blah, 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 summoned you to fight, blah, blah, blah. A king? What is this? The Victorian era? The author unironically has his character say, despite the fact that there are multiple countries in the European area that currently have kings. It's not a medieval thing. It's not a Victorian era thing. Still going. In a lot of fucking places. Still going. So he was about to tell everyone to fuck off and stop role-playing and just tell him the truth. And then some other guy walked forward, blah, blah, blah. The king's gaze turned to William. William raised an eyebrow. William Dixie, I hate to interrupt on this. I'm a busy guy, got places to be, so could you just tell me where we are, point me to the nearest exit, that'd be great. I told you you were summoned by magic ritual. Yeah, I don't care, magic, shagic. I generally don't care what script you're reading from. I will pay you to drop the act and explain to me what's going on. I did not lie to you. We used magic. Status magic. Oh, heroes, please confirm your status. Blah, blah, blah. So he looks sideways. Naofumi looked like he was looking sideways. William felt dread creep up into his gut. Opened up. William Dixie, legendary bow. William was processing. There's magic displaying stuff. B, he might be in a fantasy world. Fine and dandy. Our levels are at 1. Blah, blah, blah. Waves of calamity. Blah, blah, blah. Magic was real. He was in a different world. Blah, blah, blah. Different laws of physics, but a different universe. Blah,
Unfortunately,
blah,
you have not
blah.
yet obtained the magic of Gun Hero.
Indeed. Wait, what the fuck? The fact that he was dragged here meant travel between universes, which was possible, which opened a can of worms, trade routes, colonization, and world domination. Why settle for one when you can have as many as you want? That is such a fucking massive jump. Of, oh wow, I got summoned to another universe. Time to take over the multiverse.
Fucking you what?
That's a fucking jump.
Jump doesn't even cover it.
Has someone experimented with characters from series like Kaguya and Komi and isekaiing them? Yes, it sucks every time. They would need to be written well. Never happens, but if done well, it could be interesting to see how those characters work versus your standard isekai protagonist. Sure, but that would require the fans writing the story to have some sort of reading comprehension, which they don't. By reading Shield Hero, you've reminded me that there was a story I started writing but dropped a few weeks back because of IRL stuff. Inevitable. Let's see what else we got here. Haha, you know, Southerner hears about multiverse theory, instantly decides to conquer it. Okay. Interesting take. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Status magic. Boy, did he hit the jackpot. They played video games that had the same system. Now, Fumi was a nice guy and didn't know shit. He took down notes, blah, blah, blah. Closed, blah, blah, blah. He had a bunch of books in front of him. And he learned himself on a whole bunch of politics and the history of the world and all the books about magic and science. Magic bow he was carrying him, the magic system, growth rate, blah, 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 upgrade, blah, blah, blah. Large error text. Glance at the old musket with a frown. The legendary ranged weapon was registering another ranged weapon on him, one that should be able to scan transform into, but it was a weapon from an entirely different class than it was built to accommodate. Some historical records showed the bow heroes transforming their bows into crossbows and repeaters. He shot at lances instead of arrows at supersonic speeds, proving that the balance of the weapon wasn't the problem, but the shift from string propelled to gunpowder was fucking with the system. He scanned the weapon. A bunch of gibberish. Oh no. Oh well. Oh wait, hold on. New code detected. Update detected. Do you want to install the update to the bow? Huh? Upgrade from bow to gun? Yes, please. This update has not been play tested and edits fundamental system code and may cause bugs. Would you like to continue? Yes, give me a gun. Are you sure? The system really did seem to be warning him away from using a gun. Every empire begins with one guy saying, I deserve better. So he hit yes. No, I don't want to read the new private policy. Passive skills have been removed. Bonus skills have been removed. Item skills have been removed. Permanent item stat buffs have been removed. Weapon branches have been removed. Main branch attachments, copying, and party system has been updated. Stat growth chart has been updated. William leaned back, trying to get away from the notification bubbles crowding his view. Glanced down, he witnessed the bow absorb the musket and transform into a musket, only smaller now with an amber gem. Does that mean he gets to use a gun? And he picked up the gun, and yeah, it kind of freaked out. And he's like, "Oh shit, I fucked up." Good news, the system managed to debug itself. Bad news, compared to his original kit and what the other heroes have, he had probably just neutered any long-term viability of his class and made his life way harder. The update had overwritten everything about bows, and he couldn't change it back into a bow. But he didn't worry about that. The first and most troubling was the fact that all of the main branches and side branches had been closed. So he doesn't get a zombie flesh gun, which led him to only have the copy option, but this was a fantasy world without guns, so that wasn't going to happen either. The next big problem, didn't shoot bullets anymore. It shot mana. Okay. He had a 10-round clip with a 20-minute reload time, aka suicide. Yes. Next problem, a weapon shot mana. Two stats that would help with this, attack and magic attack, were now useless because the way the world's laws worked was your attack stat only applied when you hit something with a weapon, and your magic attack stat only applied when you hit something with magic. But because the gun fired an object instead of you shooting the object, it did not apply the buffs to the attack. His class changed from archer to gunner. Well, another big problem was the whole skills remove thing. Attachments looked promising. New trees. He could get attachments for his gun. After trying to shove a bunch of junk onto the gem, he eventually unlocked a bayonet attachment from a kitchen knife, a canteen attachment, compass attachment. He couldn't find a set limit to how many attachments he could slap on the gun. Oh boy, so it's going to be a K nightmare. Got it. So long as none of them overlapped and took up the same space when strapped to his gun, which the canteen and compass did for some reason. Attachments were totally going to become clutch. Sure. Gun hero. Choosing gun. Who knew choosing a gun over a bow would be the wrong choice? Everyone who knows about how guns work. Just saying. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, guns are good and all, but like, they require an industry. One man is not an island when it comes to gun maintenance and supply. Blah blah blah. 40 damage, blah blah blah, noble heroes, blah blah blah. Me when the bow at high end can probably destroy a continent. Yeah, that too. That too. Blah blah blah. Okay. Wow. Fucking, are you kidding me? Even in mid-game, the arrows fired from the bow will make most modern guns look pitiful. Yeah. Yeah, fucking, meteor arrow and shit like that. Probably a tank piercer on its own. Yeah, so anyway, William decides he's going to roleplay being a drill sergeant, even though he's never done it before, and his only exposure to it is when he was a kid at his dad's gun company. Go Gadget and Moab Arrow. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That is certainly an option.
Yes. So anyway, he decides he's gonna pretend to be a drill sergeant and nails it perfectly. Listen up, y'all. In case you haven't caught the hint by now, us heroes were summoned from different worlds, and I was summoned from a more advanced military than yours. That being said, we will attempt to implement new and advanced military strategies and formations that combine my theories with this world's magic. With that in mind, if you are a caveman that likes to only smack things, or some kind of traditionalist, you can pack your things and leave, because I don't want you here. A man in expensive-looking knight armor, related to nobility, scoffed and walked away. Surprisingly, though, everyone else stayed in line, even the brown-haired girl shaking like a leaf. Most looked even excited at what he said. The way weapons from Shield Hero work pissed me off. Yeah, I fucking hate them too. I hate the fact that each weapon has a different system on how it's empowered, and the only way you can use the other weapons' systems is if you trust the other person to tell you how their weapon works, and then you have to believe that information.
Yeah, that was just stupid. Like,
Which, how the fuck does that work? Because, like, what if they tell you that doing squats with your weapon out gives it an attack buff? And you believe it? Does that make that happen? Or is it only stuff that the weapon already uses? Like,
from what I remember, it's like each upgrade system was based around, like, besides them being unique, they're also based around the user's interpretations of shit. Like, I think each of the other heroes besides Neofumi, their upgrade systems were, I think, based on game shit they played with.
yes.
So it's just like, it doesn't really make sense of how they do shit. It's like,
Yeah, well,
what?
no, but the other thing, though, is that they did canonize that each weapon has its own upgrade system. Like, that was canon.
Mhm.
That was canon of the previous Cardinal Heroes. And that's how now Fumi learns about that, is the Filial Queen tells him about it. About how each of the other heroes all have their own upgrade systems, and he needs to befriend them and learn from them if he wants to make his shield the best shield possible. Which makes no fucking sense at all. Like, it'd be one thing if it's like, oh yeah, each weapon develops based on the preconceptions and assumptions made by the wielder. Fine, yeah, that actually works in a very cool way, right?
Mhm.
But if it's like, oh, but just telling someone else this is how your weapon works can magically make your weapon work like that as well? Like,
I think that's part of the reason why, like, one of the add-on mechanics was that they had to believe in the method itself.
right,
'Cause
but
otherwise
like
just telling-
that's like so fucking hacky though, where it's just like, what if I just believe that doing push-ups with my weapon will make it stronger? Does that actually work? Because if so, there's a whole bunch of shit you can gaslight yourself into to make your weapon just disproportionately stronger.
Oh yeah.
And like that's where it breaks down, when it's, oh, I can share these methods. That's where it breaks down. Yeah, yeah, now Fumi learned all of the others and just believed really hard. I know. It's so dumb.
Like, it doesn't help with Neofumi is that he was the only one treating half this shit seriously for like the longest time. So it's like, when he heard about their methods, like, he had no reason to not believe them. Because he
Right.
knew otherwise.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other idiots was like, nah, it can't be real.
Yeah. Which made no fucking sense, because it's like, oh yeah, you know, my weapon is able to do this. Wait, what the hell? Why can't my weapon do that? Oh, well, I just did this to make it happen. No, you're lying to me. It's like, well, I might be lying to you, But my weapon also does the thing that you can't do, so maybe I'm fucking telling the truth. Yeah, I just don't like the whole shared evolving upgrade system. I'm fine with the upgrade system being the initial impressions of the person shaping how the upgrade system works. But I think it's really dumb that you could make it evolving. Because that just DBZs it, effectively, right? Because it's like, oh, yeah, because what it turned into is it went from like, oh, I can put like a snake fang on my shield and I get the snake fang shield, and then I use the snake fang shield in combat and I get mastering, so I get a permanent little stat increase now, and you just do that to all your shields. It's like, all right, yeah, that's cool. And then it's like, oh, well, by learning all of their other methods, I now can pay money to upgrade the shield. I can pay resources to upgrade the shield on a parallel track. And then I can also reset the shield for prestige bonuses. It's like...
That just sounds unnecessarily complicated for a story.
Yeah, it is, and it gets even more unnecessarily complicated because the shield is shown as having like 300 plus mutations to it, and it's like, so I have to do that for every mutation?
Like the mutation thing on its own is fine as it is, and then it's like, but it's like the whole prestiging thing and whatnot.
Yeah,
like,
and
no,
you start
no.
adding all of the other methods on top of it, and it just turns into a fucking shitty fan fiction where the author just keeps on adding methods in that multiply the effects of the previous methods, and it just becomes really stupid.
Like, you had a decent system of like, okay, here's his base shield, feed it stuff, you unlock new shields and passive stat gains. There, fine, whatever.
Yeah, it was
But
cool.
then you add like all these extra mechanics. It's like, okay, you had this one was fine, this one's just stupid and just pointless.
Yeah. Anyway, so dumbass author with their dumbass gun idea, and their I don't know how they're gonna make it work. They got rid of the entire system and introduced the copy system and the attachment system, which I don't know how they're gonna make that work if they don't have skills, because skills are like 99% of the damage in even late early game. Skills were like 99% of the damage that happens in that story. So I don't know how he's gonna make that work. But anyway, that was a dumb story.
Yep.
But there is always gonna be more, and it will always get worse. So we'll see you on Tuesday.